Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm just going to give a very, very short introduction of what Shagririm Balev is, and I hope you'll find it as exciting as we all find it. We started Shagririm Balev several years ago in Machon Lev, and hence the name. The idea of the Shagririm will be explained in detail by Ayelet after I finish, but I will give you one statistic that should say more than anything. We have 496 successful shidduchim. And it's been, even though this year, in the last 2 years with the war, we still have been able to, on a very steady basis, bring more and more shidduchim into Klal Yisrael. It is really an honor for us to be involved in such an important venture. And Shagririm Balev, you'll say to yourself, well, there are so many of these type of shidduch projects. I think, first of all, I wish all of them success. That's most important to say. But I think you'll find the system that we use at Shagririm to be very different than what's out there. And I think if you hear it, I think you'll be convinced that this is one of the reasons that we're up to 496 shidduchim. We hope to hit 500 very, very soon. And we plan then to make a lot of noise about it in the local press and maybe in the not the local press as well, in the States as well. I just want to note that the OU in the United States has adopted the project, and we hope to go live in the United States through the OU within the next couple of weeks. We've been working on it for a very long time, and I think that we're just about there. We will have an English app that is geared for English speakers, and that's not just the language. That's also a lot more than that, as you'll see. And we're very excited about that as well. Rav Rimon has been our super Shagrir ambassador. He has done so much, and he continues to do so much that is just incredible. He is on this together with 100 other things that he does. He's on this all the time. We had a meeting yesterday, and he's just so active in this. It's so important to him. He has many, many shidduchim that he himself has done. I just want to point out one other thing, which is not really the main thing that Shagririm does, but Rav Rimon, because of who he is and what he is, we've opened up a department in Shagririm Balev for war widows the last few months. And we already have a couple of shidduchim, and we have many, many widows who are signed up and who are going out now. We are able to monitor the dates, and we're very excited that it seems to be taking off as well. So Shagririm Balev is just really, really doing well these days, and we hope that you'll join us, and we hope that we can help to bring more shidduchim and help you all build your families build a Bayit Ne'eman Yisrael. Thank you very much, and enjoy the presentation.
Thank you so much, Stuart. We're very, very lucky to have you leading us. Welcome, everyone, again, for the people who just joined. My name is Eli Glatt from Shagririm Balev, and we are very honored to have this evening tonight to give support and chizuk and tools for anyone who needs them, parents, family members, friends, to help the singles in our lives a little more. I'm giving here a shout out to, Stuart mentioned the OU in the United States, so I'm getting a shout out to Sarah Proops. Basically, we're really, really glad to have this Zoom. With no further ado, I'm giving the floor to Moishi Kirshner. Moishi does a lot of things. He is a therapist. He is a coach for singles, and he's an amazing speaker. And he's going to teach us today the do's and don'ts of dating and parenting. So, Moishi, I'm giving you the pin. I'm sharing the screen, and we are going to get started.
Stuart, it's a pleasure being here. I'm very excited to see all the people. I assume that it's from all over the world what's going on. It's incredible to see a lot of faces, some of them are recognized. It's a zchus for me to be here. My name is Moshe. I live in Bet Shemesh. I have 9 kids, 7 boys and
Put
2
it
girls.
that we should folks
I
be able to see it.
activity. I'm a coacher. I work with Shagririm Balev. It's an honor working with Shagririm Balev. Stuart mentioned before that the widows of the war had the privilege to be part of that in the beginning. It was incredible working with the shadchaniyot of the widows a year after the war. I was so very exciting being here, being part of Shagririm Balev, teach what I can give you. Um, First of all, I want to tell you, dear parents, you are incredible. You are amazing. You are the best thing that your singles, adults, and each one of your family got. You are the exact thing that he can reach. You are the best parents for your singles. You do your best. You are the best for them. And none of you, not each one of you is not blame and it's not his fault. And that's the first thing that I want to say and put it on the table. I met a lot of singles, a lot of couples in the travel to the wedding. It's a hard challenge. It's a very huge trip. Some of them do it in a month, in a week, in a few days. And some of them, it can take years. I met a single that was in dates for 25 years. 25 years, starting 22, ending 47. That was his trip. And that's the first thing that I want to say. I want to tell you a story on my teacher was named Granevich. He was the English teacher in the 10th grade where I learned. And once upon a time, he came to the class and he said, I want to tell you a terrible thing. Someone wrote me an article, and in the article, he wrote, I put my clothes in the coffin. And he was, I don't know the word, it was crazy for that. How can you wrote you put your clothes in the coffin? So I apologize for all the mistakes that I'm gonna do in English this night. I'm very sorry. I'm not an English speaker. I'm a pure Israeli. I was in the US for 10 days all my life. Je parle français, mon maman est la Belgique, alors je parle français, but my English is from things like that and more than that. I live in Bechemesh. I have a friend and he told me I can't come to Bechemesh. He told you're supposed to come in summer. Why you don't come? So he told me I'm practicing my English and then I can come to Bechemesh. So it's a small city, a lot of friends, a lot of all kinds. So it's a very big challenge for me to do this instruction in English. And I apologize for all the mistakes. And if I will be needed, I will say it in Hebrew and you will forgive me. Okay? Thank you very much. Another 2 weeks. Ayelet, you want to share a screen? In another 2 weeks, there is a couple that they came to me a year ago. We met last Passover. In the evening of Passover, they came. They are both 40 years old and more than them, more than that. And in another 2 weeks, there is a wedding. You can pass to the next page. In another 2 weeks, they are going to be married. And it's one of the most excited things that I have the zchus to be part of him. What I want to say today is what are the challenges that there is in the way to the wedding. In my view, there is two main challenges that are very hard. And if we will manage them, if you will see them, and if you will do and not do things, you can help a lot to your singles. I will speak to male, but it's males and females. It doesn't really matter. The journey that this couple was was sitting here. That's my clinic where I'm sitting now. It was a very hard journey. There was heights, there was down, there was tears, a lot of tears. And what I'm going to say today is relevant for all age of singles. But in my opinion, if you are 30 years old and more than that, getting a therapy, getting a coaching, getting a psychologist is the gift that you should give them or they should give themselves. It's a gift to do this journey with some man or woman that is relevant for these challenges and all the way that they should go up and down. It's a very hard journey. The most important thing I think that you need to be is to be with hope, to be what you want to be, the best version of you, to be happy, to be with hope, to be for them as the best you can. And being hopeless can be very damaged. You can work on it. You can choose what you want to be in this journey. You can be with hope. It's something that you can work on him. And what I want to do today with the CBT is to explain how you can work on yourself. I saw during the years that there is two main challenges that are that singles are need to be challenged with them. The first one is the challenge with himself, and the second one is the challenge of making relationships. These are the main thing that I saw in my clinical. And what I want to do today is to take these two subjects and to give some words, some does and don't do for these challenges. The first challenge that I wanted to skip, the first challenge that I saw, it's the challenge of the single with himself. It's called intrapsyche. That's the name of the psychologist. But in a simple word, the single wake up in the morning and he say, I don't love myself. I am not good enough. I am not successful. I am not so pretty. I don't know how to decide. And all kinds of disbelief of himself. He is saying it. He has proof for that. He's trying for a year or even 10 years to find his relationship and he can't make it. But he is in a challenge with himself. I had a boy that he came for his birthday. He was 30 years old and he came to my room when he was 30 years old and he said, I tried and I tried and I tried and I failed. And now I'm coming to you. I want you to help me for my birthday. I came to you. It was an extremely trip that the first thing that I looked and I told him, and he said, yes, you're right, that he doesn't trust himself, that he doesn't love himself, that he thinks that if someone will take him, she's making a mistake. And that was his belief. It wasn't wrong. He was a teacher. He was gorgeous. He was cute. He was funny. But it doesn't matter. That was his challenge. The end of the story was that I blessed in the chuppah. I told him I don't come for the third bracha. I come only for the seventh bracha. So I came to the chuppah and I blessed in the seventh bracha. In the seventh bracha, it was so. I was so much excited. I really was excited, and it took more than a year. But what he worked on him, that his belief, his self-worth, his self-esteem, what he thinks on himself. Now, what is the big question on what I'm saying now? You can ask me, but if it's right, if he is really very not a pretty boy, he is not so clever, she is not so. Every pot has a lid. I practice this sentence. It's written here in English. Every pot, I said it right. I hope it's right. What I said, every pot has a lead. Everyone can find his woman. Even boring people are getting married. Even small and high, short and tall are getting married. It doesn't matter. There was a divorced man that came to my room, and in the first meeting, he said, "Hi, nice to meet you. I am a divorced. I have 3 kids, and I am a failure." I said, "Whoa, you are a failure?" "Yes, and I'm gonna prove it. Now listen all my biography." And he said, "I was there and that and that." A very hard story. He was a Cohen. That's very a tough story. But I said, "Listen, I hear your story. It's a very hard story. But I have just one question. Do you think that if you are a failure, you can be married? As long as you say to yourself that you are a failure, who will want to be married with you?" That's the story. That's the fact. I can't recognize it from them. But saying I am a failure is your choose. And once you choose that, that's your belief. And you can change it. And he changed it. And he started dating. And he started going out. And there was good dates. And he said, I'm so surprised. So all of a sudden, things have changed. I see the watch. I had it. How I see I'm in the middle.
You're in the
Oh,
middle, you're good.
wow, I have to speak faster.
Yeah.
The critical question is, do you think you deserve being married? That's the first thing. The second challenge that I saw in my life, that's the challenge of making relationship. He can't make relationship. He can't develop a relationship. He can't express his feelings. He can't trust. It can be only with dates and relationships for the married. And it can be all over his life. He don't have friends. He don't so much involved in what's going on. He's alone. It could be like that and it could be like that. But the critical thing is that you as a single should learn make a relationship, and that's an ability that is critical. If you want to make relationship, there is 2 things that I and you in a minute I will explain can help your singles. The first thing is what they think on themselves. What is their self-esteem? And the second thing is what are their abilities of making relationship. These are the 2 main things that I saw. When you come to the clinic, you work on these areas, and then in the end, they can be married. Now, I want to speak to you as parents, as friends, for singles, what you can do and what you should not do. In the first challenge, you can help him a lot to improve his self-esteem. If you look on what there is, if you look on the good, if you say good words for him, you build his self-esteem. But if you judge him, if you give criticism, you make his self-esteem go down and down. And it could be right. Why are you so mefunak? Stop being so spoiled. Go! Stop! And all kinds of things that in the intuition, you think, I want to help him. I want to help him. But his self-esteem is very challenged. Outside, it's a hard war. And if in the house you are the one that see what works, that see what good, that speak only good things, don't believe the Lashon Hara they said on themselves. If he said a Lashon Hara on himself, you can challenge him. Wow. The first thing, be empathy. I hear it's very hard for you. The dates are tough. Going once again and once again, it's very hard. Don't lezalzel, sorry, he's feeling. Don't say, that, stop. You're making from nothing a mountain. It's very not nice when someone that instead of standing in front of you said your feelings are wrong, but his thoughts, his beliefs can be challenged. You can challenge them. Who said that you are not so clever? Who said that you are not so smart? When you decided that you are such not a, you name it, and you can challenge it. You know, Gardner has 7 kinds of intelligence. So maybe in math, you are not the perfect boy. So what? You have a lot of things that you know to do. That's something that you can do. You can work with your children on their self-esteem and challenge their belief, what they think on themselves. The second thing that I saw, when a house, a home, your home is a place that they can make relationship in him, they can express their feeling, they can feel trust, they can feel that that's a good place for them. So they practice on their ability to make relationship, and then they cut and paste it to their relationship outside. If you prove if your home is not a place for a contact, for a relationship, if the house is not a place that he can be comfortable, he can walk with his pajamas and be what he want to be, that's challenged his ability to make a contact. And then outside, it's a very hard thing to do it. If you are empathy, if you listen to them, if you are with them, and the house is a good place for that, they develop relationship, and then they cut and paste it and learn from you to listen, to express feeling. You can tell them if you have something that is challenging for you, you can express it for them. You can do it. Be careful. If you are afraid, if you are in pressure, don't throw it on them. Don't come to meet them. If you want to meet them and speak on this subject, you have to knock the door. You have to knock and say, tell me, it's good for you to speak on that. You want to speak on your dates. I want to speak with you. Don't do it in the middle of the kitchen when everybody else over there. Tell me, how was your date? Was good enough? Ah, thrower. No, it's such a sensitive thing. Knock the door, make an appointment, and ask them. You want to tell me? You can be there for them. You can be with them, but do it slowly. I'm calling it knock the door. Do it as at the best place and in the best time that can be. It's a very sensitive place. Okay, we need to be finished at it.
You have 4 more minutes.
Almost. Great. I'm on it. I think that you, as a parent, when you do all what I said and when you avoid all what I said not to do, you can help them a lot. You can be with them to help them to improve their self-esteem and to make your home a safety place, a confidence place, a place that they can be in a relationship. You can be for them a lot, and they need you. They need you with them. Be careful from criticism. Be careful from bringing stress near them. If you are stressed, go get some help. It's a hard journey and you need your help. You can ask for help for yourself. You can come to each one is relevant for what is good for you, and to get power to be with hope, to be happy during this journey. And if you will be with happy, if you will be with hope, They can cut and paste it and be by themselves. They need your power. They need you, but they need you in the best version that you can be. If something makes you worried and you say, Moishi, it was a great thing, but there is something that doesn't fit, doesn't work. For an example, he avoid meeting at all. He doesn't go, and he's 27 years old, and he's not on the path, on the street. So go get help. It's good reason to go to ask something professional. And if you want to go in by himself, a lot of times in my clinical, the first man that calls to me, that's the mom. Hi, I heard you are ta 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 ta. I have a boy. He's 24 years old. He's very clever, and I'm asking, okay, come. I wish I would be the good man for him. But if you think that there is something that needs more than this Zoom, you can work on it, but don't do it without his agree. If you want him to go to someone, so we can speak with him and tell him, listen, I think it will be good for you. Why not? That's a gift. You can go get help. And if you need help, you can go get it by yourself. These are the main two challenges that I saw. And this is what you can do and not do in this trip. It was an honor for me making this thing. I like to לשבור קירות זכוכית. Okay, I will say it in Hebrew. So that's why I challenge myself. I hope the English was good enough. I hope that what I gave you was good enough. I pray that you will find the strength and you will be the best in this journey. It's a very important journey, and you have a lot of things that you can do for them, and there is things that it will be better if you won't do. Thank you very much, Ayelet. It's a great Zoom. Wow. It's incredible what's going on here.
Thank you. Moishi said in the beginning that his English isn't good and he's not an English speaker. If this what a non-English speaker looks like, we're in a good shape in Israel. And I have to tell all of you that Moishi prepared for all of us a gift. It's basically the bottom line, how to build your child's self-worth, how to model connection at home, the do's, the don'ts. He's a very, very thorough man. So all of you who signed up for the Zoom got the mail before. You're gonna get this in your email after the Zoom with the Zoom recording. If anyone didn't receive an email before, this is the time to write your email in the chat, and I'll be able to send it to you after that. Thank you so, so much, Moishi. Mamash. Such inspiring words. Thank you so, so much. Moving along. Welcome to people who joined in the middle. I am Ayala Glatt. I am the international coordinator of Shagririm Balev. Basically, I got an interesting question when I was arranging the Zoom. Someone told me, but wait, Shagririm Balev doesn't allow parents to represent their own children. So why are you even doing something for parents? And I have two answers for that. Very different vibe. But number one is we do care about parents. So even if in Shagririm Balev, just a quick background, if someone didn't hear what Shagririm Balev is, basically Shagririm Balev is an initiative of friends setting up their friends. It's a database. There's 15,000 singles on it, 500 ambassadors, Shagririm, who make the connections between them. Stuart said in the beginning that we're waiting for couple 500, and actually on Motzei Shabbat, Chon Shira, Motzei Shabbat, couple 500 got engaged through Shagririm Balev. And it's literally because of the concept of friends setting up their friends. In Shagririm Balev, we believe that the family, the friends, the people who know the singles the best, they're the best people to also set them up. Okay? And apparently, we all have this feeling that most people just run into each other and like their papers drop and the love is in the air. But actually, more than 60% of people in the modern Orthodox world, the Dati Leumi world, find their husband, their wife, through friends, through family, saying like, hey, this is a great match for you. So, in Shagririm Balev, the concept number one is that ambassadors are very open with each other, very honest. If I make a suggestion for my girl and I give it to the other ambassador and the ambassador tells me, ugh, he didn't like how she looks, I wouldn't tell her that. I would protect her feelings. But it's important for me as the person who's representing her to actually hear honest things. And then I can ask her to take another picture or I can try again. But basically, that's the number one reason parents aren't allowed in Shagririm Balev. It's because we parents, we love our kids too much. We don't need to be hearing rejections in their name. It's not fair. We're there, like Moshe said, to be their cheerleaders, to be their hopes. But the subject of my talk today, very short, before we get into the panel, is כל המתפלל על חברו נהנה תחילה, which is everyone who prays for their friend will be answered first from Hashem. And it's not actually 100% foolproof, because then that would be awesome. But the concept of even when I need something, I'm looking out for others, I'm helping others, I'm doing my best to bring light because it's a pain for me. In Shagririm Alev, I've done many launches events in a lot of different English-speaking communities in Israel and in the United States. A lot of times parents came up to me and said, but listen, I came here because my beautiful daughter, my awesome son, they're single, I want to help them. And I always tell them the same thing. Why don't you join and set up other people's children and ask your friend to join and represent your own child? And I cannot count, Baruch Hashem, how many couples came out of this. I have just one example in mind of an event that was ran in the Nitzanim Shul in Jerusalem. This beautiful mom said, listen, it's my daughter. I want to set her up. So listen, you add your friends' kids, ask her to add your daughter, and yalla, work for each other. And 6 months later, her daughter was engaged to a person through Shagririm Balev, and actually, the mom thought of the idea. So she contacted the actual ambassador and told her, hey, I have this amazing idea for my daughter, make it happen. But in Shagririm Balev, not only do parents look for other people's kids, even when their own children are struggling, we also have singles who are looking for their friends while they're still looking. There's so much research in the world, how much being involved in volunteering, being involved in something good, giving, thinking of others, helps you so much. Not only it helps others. So yes, we have amazing singles and amazing parents who manage to get married through the system too, because they're another set of eyes on the system, and that's wonderful. But what it does for you as a person when you're invested, instead of, this is so hard for me, my beautiful child is struggling, gives you the power. So if my child is struggling, let me help others. Let me be that light. If my daughter is sitting at her apartment and not getting enough suggestions, I'm going to make so many suggestions to her friends that one of them is going to be her guy, right? Her friend is going to date a guy, say, hey, he's not for me, but he's perfect for your daughter. And basically the idea is to spread love, to spread hope. I really believe it's such a Jewish concept, right? We're now in a war. That's why this evening is in Zoom and not in person. But because it's in Zoom, we got to have people all over the world. By the way, I saw signed up for this Zoom. People from South Africa, from England, from the United States. Someone with a very random prefix, so I don't even know what that is in the world. But Baruch Hashem, we got to many, many places. And really, the idea is that if there's one thing I want everyone to leave here today, is what Moshe started off with, right? No one's fault is it that their child is single. I have so many friends who are beautiful and wonderful who are married. I have annoying friends who are married. I have mature friends who are married. I have unmature friends who are married. Beautiful and, let's say, average looking. Everyone, like Moshe said, everyone has their lid. And if your child was chosen for this hard journey of struggling to find their spouse, going on another date and not being able to find their spouse easily, it's not because something is wrong with them. It's because Hashem has something so amazing planned for them that they have to keep waiting. I truly believe it. And my biggest advice for all of us, but especially to all of you parents, is while this whole Zoom, you're going to see, we have singles with tips for you. We have Rav Rimon with the bracha and Sivan, an amazing session by Dania. I want all of you to have in the back of your mind, this idea that you came here to help your own children, your own friends, but you can also help others. You can also spread the light more than what is your challenge right now, but be that ray of hope, be that migdalor to other people. This is a very quick QR. If anyone's like, how am I not an ambassador yet? I know like 1,000 singles. Of course, I should set them up. Don't worry. It's also going to be in your email in the end. Right before we start the panel, Rav Rimon told me he's actually available. Let's see if he is here with us. Rav Rimon, are you here?
Shalom, everyone. You can hear me. Sorry that I'm on the way here. I have a driver. I'm not driving by myself. Don't be worried. I just came from the Azkara of Lucy D that I spoke there, so I couldn't be on time. Ayelet, I heard all the things that you said just now, last few minutes, and I want to tell you, we have באמת, as Ayelet said, we have people, generation of good people. We have singles that are the best in everything. The best in everything. They can lead, they can do things, and something is more complicated today. And something is more complicated fighting Shidduch. We have around 50,000 in the Tzionut Datit that are searching for Shidduch, and takes time, they don't find yet. And maybe those are challenging of Geulah, of redemption. It's challenging. But we have to know that if someone doesn't find a Shidduch, it doesn't mean that he's not okay. He can be the best, and something is stuck. And we are trying to do whatever we can do. And through Shagririm Balev, we see, Baruch Hashem, we have every 2 days a wedding in Shagririm Balev. We have close to 20,000 singles in the system, around, I think, 5,000 Shagririm that try to find the Shidduch. And Baruch Hashem, also people that are not young, we see lots of Shidduch, lots of miracles that people they find themselves. But I'll just say a few short things. One thing is that if we want Hashem to help us, we need to try to make it ourselves. One thing is that there are people that are not ready at all to hear suggestions. They date one time and they stop. We have a research a few years ago of 3,000 couples that are happy couples, that 46% of them said that till the 5th date, they were sure it's not the right one. So we need patience. We need patience. Sometimes, after 1 day, 2 days, I don't want anymore. Wait. If it's mamash, not shayech, okay, but if you have even 5%, continue, wait, you'll see. Today I met someone, they told me that he was dating with a girl and he wanted to stop. After 2-3 dates, he didn't feel anything. He thought it's not for him. In the end, he continued. And they are dating, I think, 2 weeks. It's not a lot. But he says now he feels much better. He feels that he have motivation, cheshek. So, first thing is to have patience. Second thing is that lots of people, they can do everything for others, but sometimes they need also others to help them. We have today professional people that they know how to help. how to give the right, to be with them, to give the right tips. And we know that someone that goes every week to someone like this increases his chance to find a shidduch in 80%. It helps a lot, every week to go to this counseling of shidduchim. And the third thing is that sometimes, because we are in a generation of shefa, we have luxury, we have so much. So when someone is dating someone, instead of asking himself, can I build a good house with her or with him? He asks himself, do I have someone better that is waiting for me? And this is one of the enemies of generation that have so much. Because we are used all the time to go to supermarket, to go to other places and say, oh, this one, oh, I have something better, So there are a few things that we can do that can help. There are things that we cannot do. Shagririm Balev, it's a tool that can help a lot, and try to use it. Not always you can do something, and not always, if it's your children, they would like to listen to you at all. Sometimes you need someone else. It's not so simple. Sometimes if you give the best woman for your child, he won't listen at all. So you have to find, to be chacham, to be smart, maybe someone else. We want to try to see how to help, and to believe in them, to give them koach, to believe they are good people, they are successful, to believe that they have a shidduch, someone that is waiting for them, and to pray all the time. And Bezrat Hashem, that all the people here, that you are searching for them, or they search from themselves, Bezrat Hashem, that they'll find זיווג הגון, וירא שמיים, ומתאים, ובעל מידות טובות במהרה ממש.
Amen. Thank you, Arav Rimon. Thank you. Arav Rimon has always something to do. He's from Azkara, giving us a lecture while driving. Thank you, Arav Rimon. You should know, it's very important for me to actually say this. Rav Rimon, besides writing books and lectures and being the Nasi of World Mizrahi, who are, by the way, if it was missed here, they are one of our sponsors. We're under the umbrella of World Mizrahi. And we also have amazing partners in Machon Lab. But Rav Rimon is also a Shagrir. So if anyone here is an ambassador, you know how the site looks. You log in, you make suggestions. It's very cool. Rav Rimon is also a Shagrir. And he made 3 marriages, 3 matches through Shagririm Balev. And also, while being an ambassador, his own daughter got married through Shagririm Balev. So if we're trying to give a proof that the concept of Kol HaMitpalel Chavero Ne'ena Tchila is true, now Rav Rimon can say, and also he promises, right, 1/3 of Gan Eden. Okay. I'm kidding. But באמת, if Rav Rimon has time to set up, besides everything he does, all of us can. Thank you so much for everything you do for Shagririm Balev and for Am Yisrael.
תודה רבה, איילת. תודה רבה, ובהצלחה for everyone.
Thank you.
And זוהב איילת, this is our treasure. תודה.
Thank you, Rav Rimon. I'm adding back our very, very esteemed panelists. Now, I started to say that all the people you're going to see today, right, are very, very active ambassadors on Shagririm Balev. Besides being single, I'm putting like a question mark there, themselves. But basically, the idea is all of them joined Shagririm Balev. I'm just adding you to Shalom. All of them joined Shagririm Balev, single. But not only are they setting up the people they love, they took upon themselves to be head ambassadors, which means they support tens of ambassadors under their wing, answering their question, guiding them, making sure that they're taking care of their candidates. It's a full-time volunteer, you guys. And I have to tell you, right, I mentioned that on Motzei Shabbat, couple 500 got engaged. That is Neely. Don't know where she is on your screen. That is Neely. Show us the ring. Show us the ring. And if you're asking, what a beautiful girl, what an amazing story. Who set her up? It's Shlomo right here. כל הכבוד, כל הכבוד. Such an amazing dude. So, guys, just to get us started, if each of you could just introduce yourself, who you are, your age, where you live, what you do, and what's your connection to Shagririm Balev? How did you get to it? Let's start with you, Shira.
Hi, I'm Shira. I actually work with Ayelet in Shagririm Balev, but I've been making shidduchim since I was a kid. It's something I've always liked to do. So that's really how I got to Shagririm Balev. And yeah, I live in Jerusalem. I made Aliyah as a kid, and yeah,
And Shira is the awesomest, most humble, sweet person you'll ever meet. Know
thank you.
that. Yes, Shlomo Eli. Tell us where you are, Shlomo Eli.
Right now I'm in America. I got stuck out of the country, but normally I live in Jerusalem. I'm 27, programmer, and I originally started with Shagririm Balev a few years ago, 2 years ago. Time flies. I was recommended to join, so I joined as a candidate, and then a few months later, the Shagririm was having an event at Nitzanim, and so I went and I learned how to be an ambassador, and then I tried to get as many people as I could, and now I have a lot of people under me.
Shlomo Eli, we just mentioned that you set up Neely. Oh my gosh, we just lost her. But how many people did you set up through Shagir Balev?
I have 4 engagements through Shagririm Balev.
Everyone's cheering for you, you should know. You can see their little faces. Kol hakavod, thank you. And Neely,
Hi,
who are you?
uh, my name's Neely Steinbach. I live in Jerusalem, originally in Ola Kadasha from England. I've been a Shagrira for 2.5 years and recently became a single on Shagririm and met my fiance, Dovi, through it. So thank you, Shlomo Ali, and Shagririm in general, all of you.
Thank you. So, the panel tonight is, right, to guide and then give chizuk to parents and anyone who wants to help singles in their life. So, I wanted to ask all of you, just as a start-off question, what is something that people do that feels pressuring, that people should stop doing if they want to help singles get married? We'll keep the same seder, I think, to avoid confusion. Yes, Shira.
Um, okay, that's a good question. There are a few things I think that people should maybe stop doing. I think that the focus when you meet someone and the first thing you're focusing on is the fact that they're single is often something that really adds pressure. And unfortunately, that happens more often than not. Um, so that's something I would recommend to see a person beyond their marital status.
Shlomo.
So definitely what I find pressuring is when you get comments like, maybe you don't really know what you want, or this matchmaker has a lot of marriages, you should believe what they're saying and they know what's best. And as much as I would love to say to my candidates, I have a lot of engagements now, you should listen to me. I don't like to pressure them in any way. And I pressure them to give me an answer as opposed to any specific answer.
What does that mean? That's so interesting.
So I'll send a suggestion and I'll give them some time to review it. But say a
Huh?
week passes and they don't have an answer yet. I won't pressure them to give me like either yes or no. Just more so make a decision because it's not really fair to the other person waiting also.
Thank you. And Neely?
I think the most important thing is not to force people to go out, to trust that they know what's good for them, and if they're not feeling it, they're allowed to end it, and you don't need to bombard them with questions of why it's not right, why, like, what the reason is. Just accept and allow them to make that decision for themselves.
Thank you. Okay, next question. All of you sit or sat till like 2 months ago on both sides, right? You get matches for yourselves and you suggest to others. So as someone who sits or sat on both sides, what is the best way for someone to suggest a match? If someone here says, "Oh, I have such a great match. I want my child to say yes." What's the best way to suggest a match?
So I would say that you really should share positive things about the person, because very often when people are trying to make a match, they will start saying some of the negatives as well. So I would say to maybe start with the positives and maybe go in that direction, because I think that that's helpful. And try to not like put too much pressure, but like to be like, to listen to what the person has to say. Like if the person has feedback and has questions, listen to what they're saying and take it into account when you're trying to make the match or push it forward.
So, Mally?
So I know I really appreciate when I get like a genuine explanation for why the person thought of it. Like it makes me feel like they really understand what I'm looking for. Like if I feel like a suggestion is just based on what the other person wants from me rather than what I want, like I don't usually give it much thought. Like for example, my mom once used ChatGPT to generate my ideal wife, and it ended up being pretty far off. So I realized I probably hadn't explained to her clearly enough what I was actually looking for. Like I know it came from a place of love and wanting to help, but it reminded me that if I want people, like especially my mother, to suggest good matches, I actually have to be clear with them what I'm looking for.
Thank you. Thank you. So, to actually you're saying that it should start like with the sentence, I think this is a good match because.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be like you both have a heartbeat.
Exactly. Exactly. Both live in Israel. It's a very common one.
Neely?
I agree with what they both said, and just to add that to focus on what's important to them and like really listen to what they're looking for, and then when you find someone who fits that, like, you know, explain why you think it's a good match based on those reasons.
Neely, that's such a strong point because you understand you're rearranging the order. It's not contact the single person when you have a suggestion. First, ask them what they want and listen. And then you say, oh, it actually fits a suggestion I have for you. But I think that's super important. Also, Lisa Ben Shalom, I remember, told this to us. Never come and say, like, I have the perfect match for you. Just say, hey, what are you looking for? Thank you, Neely. That is such a good point. And thank you all. My next question for you. Parents who want to maintain a good relationship with their single child. What are things they should do and what are things they should avoid?
Um, I think I'm go back to like the first thing that I said before about seeing the person as more than just a single. I think that that's very important, especially from parents to really see the person like I mean see your child as that person. Um, and I guess also to give positive reinforcement in other areas, even if it's um, not necessarily dating related.
Are there things that aren't dating related? Of course, kidding. That is so true. Thank you. Somali.
So like Shira said, definitely it's very important to show pride in your child outside of the dating scene because there's more to us than just going on dates. And it's also very important to show that you're there to support them without judging them. Like if they want to share something about a date, don't go in with the mentality I'm gonna like tear down what they said. And along the same lines, you should definitely avoid making them feel like a disappointment for who they're going out with or being single and nitpicking the people they date.
That is so important. I have so many examples in mind of people who just, it's just one sentence. It doesn't mean anything. It just, someone comes home with a girl, like, oh, but really? That? For you? And it just like, huh, mamash gosh, so mamash good point. Thank you. And Neely?
I think it's really important for parents just to be supportive and listen to what their child wants. So whether that's like for them to be very involved, great, be supportive, but also it's like some kids don't want their parents involved in their dating lives at all, and just like take a step back, don't push them, don't force them into things they don't want to do, don't force them to talk about it. If they want to talk about it with you, let them approach you, maybe like ask a question here and there, but don't be overbearing and controlling. Like they can take care of themselves. They're adults. They don't need you to like be on top of them, and it could make things harder and worse for them.
But let's say, Neely, if a parent, right, they love their child more than life,
Yeah.
they see that they're struggling and just they want to do something. And you're saying, like, if your child needs space, give them space. Is there something they can do if their child needs space?
I mean,
It's a hard question, I know.
it is, and I'm not a parent, so I don't know. But just having been like on the receiving end, Baruch Hashem, like supportive parents who gave me my space and didn't push me with it, like I was just really appreciative of that. Someone actually told me a suggestion recently of like what can parents do to help support their children. It could be like something completely like unrelated to dating. Like it could just be like, paying for them to have a gym membership so you can get in shape and, feel good about themselves and be positive and like work towards it in that way and not, help them with like other things in their lives and not necessarily pushing them about dating itself.
You're mamash leading us to the next question, and just you really remind me of something we spoke about like not so long ago in Shagririm, but there's a lot of things that we do when someone gets married, when someone gives birth, right? Like we'd send suppers, we'd send gifts, we'd send flowers on Friday. And there's literally no reason not to do it for your child if they're single. Like they also want a random supper delivered to them in the middle of the week when they're a little bit under the weather. Or just thoughtful things that are not go date, suggestion, therapist. Just like, well, thank you. So that's one thing you're saying your parents were supportive for you and gave you your space. Shira and Shlomo Eli, is there something you're saying my parents did this right, do this right? And all you parents in this Zoom should copy them?
And there definitely are things. I do think that encouraging your child to, do things that they enjoy doing beyond just dating. If they have a passion, if they like to do art, or if they like to go to concerts or to play music, whatever it is, I think that that's important. I also think someone asked a question that actually answers that, to understand that your child is not necessarily looking for the same person you are. So when they're looking for someone, you might not approve of the person for whatever reason, whether it's for religious reasons, for educational reasons, whatever it is. If they choose that person, there's a reason for it. I mean, obviously there are situations that are problematic, but if it's things that are not, dangerous, I think that having that kind of support where people realize that your child just might be looking for something different than what you are, um, or were, then that's important to support.
100%. Thank you. Shlomo Eli?
For me, my answer is very simple. It's just definitely, I always appreciate when my parents call me to see what I'm doing and what I'm up to. Like irrespective of my dating life, just what I'm doing in my day to day. Because it makes me feel like they care about me beyond just the fact that I'm dating.
And you are a very interesting and cool guy, so I'm sure it's very interesting to talk to you. So they raised you well. Next question for our very prestigious panel. Do you feel there is a real place for singles in the community today?
So I think it depends where you're located. I think for the three of us, we live in Jerusalem, and I think I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I think that we're in. I mean, for the most part, some of us might be in a community that is more accepting of singles, and you don't feel some of the pressures that I know I've heard from friends who are like from a yishuv and they're the last person from their grade who's single. I think that I think that is unfortunately not really like that in most places where it's so accepting, but definitely if you're in a place that's like Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, I'm sure different places outside of Israel too that I can't think of. Um, that's I think that there is a place for singles, but I think unfortunately there is a lot of work that still needs to be done in certain other places in order to make people feel welcome.
Thank you. Do you have what to add, Shlomo Eli, Neely?
But yeah, like Shira said, like I live in Jerusalem and there's a community full of singles and it's great. We have so many events. Like I don't think being unmarried means I have to sit around feeling miserable, but I also, like Shira said, know that there's a lot of places where there's a stigma for being single, and I think it's something that we should actually be pushing back on.
Thank you. Thank you. Neely, you're saying yes.
Uh, I mean, I think there definitely is room for improvement here from what I've heard from people who live outside of Yerushalayim, outside of the singles community. But I think something that's really helpful that people could do is, invite singles for Shabbat meals and have them. And there's certain people in the chat here who have had me for meals, and like I've really appreciated it. And it's like has nothing to do with being single. Like hopefully, like I can come back with my husband someday. Like it's not just at this stage of life, but a lot of people, especially like a lot of people being olim chadashim without family here, like it's like so nice to be hosted by families and not just because you're single, just because like you're a human being and you have other parts to you and you're an interesting person and you're like a whole full like professional person and no one even like we're just talking about our single life, but like there's so much more to us than just that.
100%. The next question for you guys is, how can parents support their child emotionally after a difficult dating experience? Neely, do you want to switch around? Do you want to get started this time?
Um, Sure. I think it just comes back to being supportive, being there if they want to talk, if they're a hugger, give them a hug, if they're like, it depends. Everyone reacts differently to heartbreak, but like some people like don't eat. So maybe like you could help them by like making them meals and making sure they're okay, or just like, distracting them by doing other things with them, or just listening, being a listening ear. Yeah,
Now, Neely, specifically you, your parents don't live in Israel, right?
they do actually.
Oh, they made Aliyah. Awesome. So I'm
Thanks for
asking you,
saying.
Shlomo Eli, because I know your parents don't. And you live
Hmm.
far away from them, and I know that's the situation for a lot of parents who are on this Zoom, that they have children that don't necessarily live close to them. So how can parents support their kids after a dating experience if they're not hug distance?
So definitely, like we said before, give space and avoid pressuring to get back into it immediately. Like definitely steer clear of things saying like, you're running out of time. It only, not that that's my experience, but it's just that kind of thing only adds more anxiety during what's already difficult. And so the most helpful approach is just be there for your child for when they're ready.
Amazing. And Shira?
I agree with everything that was said. I think it's, just to be there for them and to try to support them and understand also situations where, it might have not like it is heartbreaking for parents too, I'm sure. You have all these hopes that it'll work out and then it doesn't. So yeah.
Okay, I have one last question for you. Um, it's actually two, but you can decide how to. So, number one is, what helps you to stay positive and energized and your dating journey? And the second question is, what, while you're on your own dating journey, inspired you to start setting up others? Because all of you, I can attest, have spent so much time on setting up other people. It's insane. I think it's more time you spend on setting up people than was spent for you all together. Because Bemet, all of you have spent hours and hours. So, those are my two questions. Oh, there is a alert. Usually I'm from Efrat. It's just an alert and nothing happens. I will say that I have reception in my safe, my mamad. So the Zoom will continue, but it's being recorded. So if you, for any reason, need to run to your mamad or miklat or can't participate in the Zoom, just know that everything is recorded. And I hope Daniela, our next speaker, is also going to have reception. But back to you guys for our last question.
Um, who do you want Neely to start again first?
No, Shira, go for it. The floor is yours.
Um, so what was the question again?
Oh, what? Zakat, that missile is
Yeah,
coming at you,
How
got
to
you
stay
distracted.
positive?
I would stay positive. No, I know. I think
Stay
it's
positive. And why do you spend so much
Inspired.
time setting up others?
so
Bemet.
I'll start with why I spend time with others. I've been doing it since before Shagririm. I felt since young that there weren't enough people that really wanted to help out singles. And I still sometimes feel that way. Um, so I felt like if I wasn't trying to help, who would? So I would often go out with a guy and then pass if he was nice, I'd pass him along to a friend, or I had different guy friends that I would, set up. So that's how I got into it. As for staying positive, it depends on the day. Some days it's trying to not only focus again on being single and finding other joys.
Thank you, Shira. And thank you
Is
for
that
everything you do for singles. Be'emet. Shira's amazing, and I know someone here is seeing her and saying, "Oh my gosh, I know the right guy for her." So you have our email. Send the resumes.
Thank you.
Shlomo Eli.
Thank you.
So I always say to my friends that there's like a good chance in 10 years we'll all be married. So like, why worry about it now? And I'm also not someone who gives up easily, and my life is moving forward regardless. So like I like to change things up and do things so I don't get burned out, and this is what essentially keeps me going, and I'm very happy with it. And what led me to joining Shagririm, I like helping other people. And so I have all these friends who are like trying to date, and I was like, well, I could probably do a good job. And so I tried my hand at it.
And you do a very good job. So that's awesome. And Neely?
Thank you. I How do you stay positive? I mean, I think really at the end of the day, it comes down to you have more chances of getting married. Your chance is literally so much higher if you are positive and you are optimistic and you're an upbeat person. Someone meets you and they're like, wow, this is the type of person I want to set up or I want to date. They're more likely to ask you out. If you go around with your head down thinking like I'm worthless and no one's gonna want me, like then yeah, there will be a self-fulfilling prophecy and no one will want you because no one wants to be around someone who's depressed and sad and bringing other people down around them. Something also that helps me is just like seeing my friends, like one by one. Like I'm in a large singles community, Baruch Hashem, a lot of people have gotten married one at a time, just like people find their person and it takes time and there's still a lot of singles out there and we have a lot of work to do, but like, you know, it does happen eventually, just one at a time. We all find our people, and Baruch Hashem, now I'm also one of those people. But like, it was very many years of like, when's my turn? Like, it took a while to get here, and like, you just have to try staying positive. It's hard, but you're proactive. You try to do what you can to, you join Shagririm. You join as a Shagrira to set up other people. Like you said, like if you daven for other people, then Hashem answers you. So do what you can for other people, help them, and Bezrat Hashem, like Hashem helps you back.
Thank you. Thank you to the three of you for such inspiring, beautiful answers and for everything you do. And not only for singles, for the amazing individuals you are, professionally and personally. And there's so much to you. You are here just representing a little part, but Bemit, thank you all. I'm introducing now Daniela Rudolph. I'm gonna remove your pins, don't worry. Daniela is an amazing shadchan. I don't know who follows her here. She guides so many people from singlehood to marriage. She has so much insight, and I'm so excited for your talk, Daniela. I was mamash waiting for it.
You're so sweet, Ayelet. I love you. I think you're amazing and you have so much great positive energy. And I'm so honored, humbled, and excited to be here today. Mazel Tov, Neely. I saw Neely and Dovi on one of their dates. So I'm super excited for you guys. I first of all, thank you to everybody who is joining here tonight. And I really hope I don't have a siren right now because I did get an alert. And I think I do have connectivity in my mamad. So I'll just carry it in there and hopefully we can continue if we need to do it that way. But altogether, thank you everybody for being here. Some of you I know, some of you I don't know. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Daniela Rudolph. I'm the marriage architect. I'm a marriage educator, a dating coach, and very importantly, a matchmaker. But part of that is coaching, mentoring my couples as they date. So when Ayelet asked me to speak about the specific topic, because I can speak about a lot of topics, the specific topic from the first date with your spouse, meaning we're talking to the parents and friends of the person dating. So let's just say they're your child, okay, for the case that I was asked to speak. Okay, so say your child's first date with their spouse. You say Hodu Lashem Kitov Kile Olam Chasto when they meet them, but you still don't know that this is their spouse, right? They don't know yet, maybe, that this is their spouse until engagement. So that's the topic that I'm speaking about tonight. I could speak about all the topics, but this is what I'm trying to focus on, and concepts that come up. Now, for the 99 people that are on this in here tonight, and if you know, let's just talk about the fact that everybody has one child, then you have 99 individuals who will go on a first date with their spouse. They will all be different situations. Every single one of them, every single story is going to be different, because I've dealt with hundreds of people who have gone on a first date and then engaged. Not necessarily all the people that I've matchmaked, but the people that I guide and they're dating, coaching, whatever it is. So I know that all the cases can be different, but I wanted to focus on certain things that are really depictive of things that I feel that it would be really nice for a parent to know this when their child is dating. So what I wanted to say is that, okay, first of all, everybody can message me, but I'm like seeing your messages. So I'd rather just like focus on the talk. Okay, so you can certainly ask me questions at the end. Okay, so I wanted to talk about what it is from dating to engagement. So I would like to say there's first dating. First is dating the person. It could be, let's say, the first 2, 3, 4, 5, however many dates, till it goes to dating relationship, I call it. And then from the dating relationship, which is a certain amount of time, until engagement. Okay, and I specifically, like it's dating relationship, and then engagement. And then of course the engagement, you're still dating the person you're engaged to, and then they get married, right? So, I mean, and then you get married, and then you're dating your spouse. Okay, so it's always dating. We're not stopping to date ever, okay? So we want to continue dating your spouse as well. Okay, so from the dating to dating relationship and engagement. This is the topic that I'm talking about, but I think it's nice to see that kind of visual in your mind to understand the different points and how to guide your child. Or I should say the parent's role. Okay, because not like Neely mentioned, it's not necessarily guidance necessarily, it's in a certain way it is, but in a certain way it's your role, because you are the parent. So what I would like to focus on, number one, is that first date, you still don't know that this is your child's spouse, right? And this is also a time when they don't know necessarily if I say not necessarily because some people know, okay? So I am going to put it out there. Some people know on that first date that there's something special here, okay? So not everyone does. And Rav Rimon talked about that tonight. Sometimes it takes some people longer if they have the patience to wait, to see. But really, some people really do know on that first date. And I say that from my couples who I've set up as well. There's something special about the meeting, of the chemistry, of the, like when I came back from my first date, my roommate said that I was shining. And I was like, oh, very nice. I think that there could be, I say could be because it's not necessarily for everybody. Every case is different. And sometimes it's the man feels that way and the woman's not sure yet. And she takes her longer. And sometimes the woman knows and the man's not sure yet. But usually, let's say with chemistry, often, what is chemistry? Might as well talk about it right this second. Chemistry is attraction, physical attraction, but it's also emotional connection. You can't have a beautiful relationship if you don't have both. And of course, physical attraction is very important for both man and woman to have for the other. But at the same time, a man might be immediately attracted to his wife or to the woman he's dating. And the woman might take a little longer till she is physically attracted. But at the same time, sex therapists have, taught me, like Talia Rosenbaum, and many of you might know her in the room. She taught me when I was taking my courses for marriage education. And she said, that a woman could become attracted to the man if she wasn't in the beginning. If there becomes an emotional connection, she can become more physically attracted to the man. It doesn't mean she will. It means she could become more attracted. Okay, so what's happening on the first date and the first many dates till they get to the dating relationship is they're kind of testing how they feel. They're seeing if there's chemistry, if this is developing. And what's interesting is, like I said, there's sometimes somebody who's like immediately like falling in love with the other person on the date. We're talking about your child going on dates, right? So like sometimes immediately, let's say if the guy is like, wow, she's beautiful. I'm having such a nice time. She's great. And then the woman might be saying, I like him. I mean, remember, they're coming back to talk to me or any of the Shagririm here. Like I happen to know usually both sides. The man and the woman usually come to talk to me. So I usually know what's going on from both ends. So I might hear from him, oh my gosh, she's amazing. And with her, I had a really nice time. I want to go out again. I'm not sure yet how things are. Like she's still not certain. So I call that concept, like with one of my couples, it was like literally 10 times that she kept on going on dates with him. He's totally fixed. He's enjoying. Everything is beautiful for him. And then with her, she just kept saying, yes, I want to go. I would say to her, you don't have to go out again. Like if she was forcing herself, I don't feel that people have to force themselves to go on another date. And then she would say, no, I really like him. I want to go on another date. I just don't know about hashkafa or something. Like she just was trying to fit it into her life. So I call that growing in love. So there's falling in love where it's like more immediate. It's more, in a certain sense, like Western culture of falling in love, and it's immediate. And versus growing in love. And some people need that. They need to figure it out in their life that this is going to work religiously, politically, let's call it core values, and that the chemistry, sometimes it's physical attraction that's not 100% there. But of course, that needs to grow in order to become a solid relationship where they both feel happy and interested and excited to be with each other. So that concept, I think, is really important for the parents to keep in mind, that if they're not seeing their child 100% like excited yet, but they're happy and they're content to a certain level, that they can just like observe, like just see how things are going for them without bogging them down with questions and how things going. Of course you might want, I mean, I've married off some of my kids, so I'm like, I understand what it's like to be the parent, and not, it's kind of like a dance, it's a dance where you want to be there for your child, and at the same time, like Neely, like you said, they're adults, and also the other, I don't know the other people on the panel, your names exactly. So, they're, if they're old enough to get married, then they're an adult, right? And then they can make their own decisions. But of course, as parents, we do want to make sure our kids are going in a certain path. So, I mean, Neely, this is the part that I'm telling you about, okay? As the parent, we want to make sure that our children are going to be happy, safe, that they're going to be in a good relationship, a positive relationship, somebody who's going to respect them and love them, and really just that they are a good idea for their child, because we spent however many years raising our children. We love our children. We want to make sure that our children are in a healthy relationship. Okay. So, and another factor that I would like to just add here is that I meet with people who want to get married, and many of them are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, and all the way up. But what I'm trying to say is many of them have never been married before. So they don't necessarily know what a good relationship should be like. That's number one. But I also work with people as Perek Bet, as they call it, where they've been married. So I hear a lot of stories of what a not good relationship is like. So I also want to make sure, to begin with, I want to make sure that my couples are truly happy couples, that they really want to be there, excited to be each other, and knowing what a not good relationship looks like to make sure that my couples are only in a happy relationship. So parents also want to do that. They also want to make sure that their kids are in a happy relationship, and they want to just have some sort of connection to their child, because it's still their child. No matter how old they are, they're still their child. So it's a dance. It's really a dance. They go on a first date, maybe they'll tell you they went on a first date. Maybe they'll tell you they had a really nice time. Maybe they'll tell you the person's name. It depends on the person, the person who went on the date, the child who's an adult, you know, what they're feeling and their personality. It's really about their personality and the relationship they have with the parent. Okay, so obviously this is obvious that it's all individual and every case will be different. But what is it that the parent is trying to make sure of? They're trying to make sure that their child is in a healthy relationship. So they're going on 1 date, 2 dates, 3 dates, 4 dates. Things are looking good. And at the same time, we need to extend this concept to our child starting now and for ourselves. Neutral expectations breed high results. It's a concept I developed many years ago, and I use it all the time in my own life and in many concepts that, like, say they go on a first date, not to get them all excited and hyped up that they're going on a first date, because obviously it could be very exciting. It could be, as we're discussing here, the right one for them. But keeping them in neutral and not going, oh my God, they're the best person in the world for you. You got to make this work. They're amazing, right? I will never use the word perfect for an idea. I heard that you said Aliza also says the same thing. I always tell people, I will not, because they might be perfect for you, but no person is perfect. But I will still steer away from using that word. Neutral. Oh, have a good time. Like if they say to you, oh, but I have to, help prepare for Shabbos. No. Go on your date. Have a good time. I'll prepare the vegetables for this soup. You don't have to do that now. You're going on a date. Just go. Not to emphasize that it's a date, but yeah, this, there's priority to it, but not making it more to give it still neutral expectation that the date is going to, just have a good time, but not to over excite them that this first date will be something special. But then if it becomes, an amazing date and they're shining afterwards and it was amazing, awesome, that's a high result. Have a neutral expectation about things, and then there could be a high result. If someone is expecting, oh my gosh, it's going to be the best date in the world, and then it was terrible, then it's a low result. So we don't do high expectation breeds low results. We do neutral, just stay in neutral, and then anything better, like the coffee was great at the cafe, good. The museum was fun, So whatever it is that date was, then it will always be nice if a person is in neutral and not making too much of it. So it's like a concept, I think, in our lives that all of us can use. I use it all the time for myself. So just go neutral, and then you could breed a high result. So that goes from every date possible, like whenever they're going on a date, okay, have fun, good, enjoy, if they're going to tell you about the date, but not to make too much of it. And not to plan the wedding after the first date, in our minds, we're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. When's the wedding gonna be already? Like not to do that, even though, trust me, I do it myself. Okay, but really to pull down the expectation, because we go in neutral is healthy. And then anything that is better than that is a high result. And then we can continue in life without falling, without getting depressed, without getting upset. So that's in terms of the parent. Also teaching this concept of how we act as parents in general in our lives, but also they'll feed into it, because then when they go on the date, they're not going to be having this hypertension, this anxiety that develops about going on dates. This is what I tell the people who date, through me. This is what I teach, a concept that I really feel strongly about. So neutral expectations always breeds high results. So how often should they date? What are you observing as they go from date to date? What I find is a very good rule of thumb, a healthy rule of thumb, is every 2 to 4 days. Obviously, everybody has different, scheduling that they need to take care of. Some have school, some have work, some are, have a wedding, as they go on dates, to try to keep it close together. But what I found, when people go out every day before they've really decided that this is what they want, that they really like each other, and want to make this a dating relationship, I don't care what people do after that, but a healthy kind of dating pattern, sequence is probably every 2 days. But if you can't every 2 days, and every 2, 3, 4 days, something like that, but not like a week later, not like 2 weeks later, because I feel that it needs to stitch together the fabric, the foundation, you know, like to make sure that it stays at some sort of momentum, what I call keep the momentum going. Okay, so just keep it going. It could be with WhatsApp chats in between, as long as the WhatsApp chats or the phone calls don't replace the actual date. Obviously, when you have sirens and you can't go, you know, as much traveling, okay, you know, but there are creative ways of getting together. I have great couple who just came here to bring me Mishloach Manot on Purim, and they dated through Corona, and they were the most creative couple ever. They went to do a soup kitchen on their first date, you know, like all sorts of things that were legal, went to Osharad together, you know, like different things that were allowed, you know, but to keep the momentum going, and the sequence every 2 to 4 days is a very nice sequence of time that it's not too much time elapses in between. I feel like the ones who go out once a week, that doesn't go anywhere, because they can't like create a momentum, create a relationship together. So here's a really interesting concept. Like, watch the couple date. Of course, you see them smiling and how they look at each other if you're at that point where you're actually seeing them together. Everything seems good, how you seeing your child when they come home. I do believe it's smart to try to dance this dance of trying to get a little bit of information, but I'm hoping that if you have a good relationship with them, you know, they'll pull you on the side, like one of my kids did, and like within a week, and she's like, I met someone, you know, like that's special. Any people here who haven't met, like if there are people here, the friends of the daters or the daters themselves are on here, it's so nice when the child will go to the parent and tell them, I met someone, and then they can you know, decide when they want to tell you more. And it's important not to pressure them. So here also, sometimes everything is going well, and then all of a sudden there might be like a panic attack that this dater is going through. All of a sudden they might be freaking out, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 you know, I'm crying, they're crying or whatever it is. And you're like, what's wrong? Like everything seems amazing. So this is a really important concept to understand. And I think it comes full circle. The concept is that the body cannot handle being in fear. Like if the siren were to sound, we don't be panicking, running to the mamad. Now, I don't mean panic. We go try to go chill, right? But we know there's a panic that goes on. That's fight or flight, okay? Versus when it's not in that, that's a sympathetic. The nervous system has a sympathetic nervous system, like the reaction, and then versus the parasympathetic part of your nervous system, which is very calm, loving, connected, feeling good. You're not going to feel that when there's a tiger running after you, right? So you can't have both in your brain and in your body at the same time. So sometimes and literally this has happened for many people when they're dating, all of a sudden they're panicking. Oh my gosh, my life is not going to be the same. I'm going to lose my identity. I have to start covering my hair. I don't know if I want to cover my hair now. I'm not going to have the same last name. I have to leave the house now. I have to move in. Like all of a sudden, panic. So there's a difference, of course. Discussing that, explaining that, it's awareness, it's understanding how the body works. It's like a map of the body and how it works. So the idea is to understand that this is how our body reacts, and so they can't feel like, oh yeah, I love him so much, I love, and then to feel the panic, right? So that they have to understand the difference, because of course, if there is a feeling that somebody dating has, and there's like a knot in the stomach, and it doesn't feel right, and that persists, that means something might be wrong with this relationship. Okay, that's not really the discussion here, because I'm doing from the first date with the really awesome person that they're dating, that is a really good idea for them, until engagement. But there is a difference. So to understand that this panic may not be a red flag about this relationship, it might just be to discuss it and then to see how they feel after, but to understand that that can happen. Now, full circle about parents guiding their children, recognize the same thing can happen when you ask, how was your date? Because if they go into, oh my gosh, they're asking me about dating again, fight or flight, they might be reacting and not be able to feel the connection they really do feel with their parent. And so therefore we have to understand it's a dance. It's understanding how to speak to people, who, let's say in terms of child, because it's understandable that the parent wants to be involved, and really actually the child might want to be involved. So the child might want their parents to know, or to just to gently be aware that they're going out, but not to pressure them, but understand that this is how their body might be working, and that to them it might feel very frightening, like to have to share private information, or to have to be like to be talking about something they don't necessarily want to be talking about. So to understand that they might need their privacy, etc. The point is to understand this about our bodies, and to relate that and understand that as not to put too much pressure in making sure that they date this person or that person or whatever it is, and let things flow naturally. Anyway, so I know we don't have that much time. I have to sign off. I think Ayala tell me like
Kavod,
I'm done.
Daniela. You're so interesting. I wish we could stay here for so long. I wanted to ask you, because it's so much good advice. If a parent needs to walk around while their child is like on this journey, like with one, two sentences, like to become like a mantra in their head, like something that they need to keep telling themselves, what can a sentence like that be?
It's a good question. I really think that a lot of these concepts, really neutral expectations breed high results, keep them immense.
We just need them
I'm
written
also a
down.
person
That's the
that talks
truth.
to Hashem. It's like, thank you, Hashem. Like, thank you. Like that. This is Hashem's in charge. I'm going to be there for my child if they need me. I want to know what's going on, of course, but I need to give them space. It's not necessarily a mantra, but a way of life. And I think that even just staying, but now before somebody starts dating, I love you. I care about you. I want you to date the right type of person. I'm here for you if you want me involved. I for sure would love for you at some point when you start dating the right person, just to let me know, so I can be there for you, but I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to make you tell me every little thing. Because as a parent, just like in advance, like just kind of like a communication. And then whatever you want, like I'm going to stay out of it. I'm not going to, really bother you too much, but this, in my case, I'm like, this is my field. I'm happy to be here for you. But at the same time, I don't want it to be the smothering type of person that will make them feel uncomfortable. So I think it's a way of life.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What a wonderful talk. Thank you, Daniela, and for everything you do for Am Israel. Guys, you need to follow everything she's doing. And without further ado, we are so honored and so lucky to have Sivan Rav Meiri with us. Sorry that we're running a little late. You are the best for being so patient and for everything you do. So without further ado, no introduction needed.
First of all, thank you very much. Baruch Hashem. I was privileged to listen, to hear Daniela. These are words of wisdom. And I think what you do here tonight, that's my fifth Zoom for tonight, and the last one, Baruch Hashem, for tonight. And I think it means a lot. People want to be together. Parashat Vayakhel, people want to gather to Lehit Kahel. And it's incredible to see 5 different organizations, different streams. And I think what you do is, seriously, it's a holy mission you took upon yourselves, especially now, because people don't take this as something important. There are so many other things that are so urgent. So thank you for the opportunity. And I'm here just because I love Shira Jakobovich. That's how we call her in Israel. And I didn't hear her words before, but she works with me for years. And I'm really, I'm one of the fans. So she told me,
she would have made you proud, Sivan. She would have made it.
Shagririm Balev. That's something she's involved with. So I said, okay, why not? I want to be part of it. I'm not an expert. I'm not a Rebbetzin. I'm not a Shadchan. I'm just a journalist. So in a very superficial way, as journalists do, I will just give a few, I would say, tips, pieces of advice, things out of my experience, and maybe it will help you out. I think the first thing we should remember, as I said, it's not just the war. People seriously are focused for 2-3 years in I would say, in this battlefield, and it's important. And let's say that the BC, yes, before COVID, we had other issues, 5 elections in 3 years, and then we have the pandemic, COVID era, and now this. So it's never urgent. You never say that ravakut, the singles are the main topic, the main headline, but it is. But it is, because building Jewish homes, it's the most important thing. That's why I think this Zoom and this organization, you're doing something incredible. It's important. And that's number one. That's what I came here as a journalist, just, to say this and thank you. And I keep on doing it, because it's not just your problem. It's not your personal problem. It's Hashem's problem. He wants to dwell in his home, in his Shekhinah, in his house. When I'm reading Vayakel, and building Jewish houses, mishkanim, little places of mishkan, of Shekhinah, that's the way to bring redemption, from personal redemption, from personal zugiyut to the real zugiyut of us and him. And so basically it's all, it's all the same home and temple, and yeah, you do something that is really, really important. The main tip, the main thing, I work a lot. I mentioned Shira. I have others in really professional experts, part of my team, also singles and not so young. Can you hear me, by the way? Do you all hear me? And yeah, okay. So I think that it's a mistake, treating them as singles. I treat them, first of all, as human beings. And I want to say to the parents, this is a nisayon, and I can't tell you what to do. But I think they would say, Mommy, I'm not just a ravak mevugar. It's not just like you have 3 kids and one is a ravak mevugar. No, you have 3 amazing kids, and they're people, they're human beings, and it's part of their identity. It's not really what defines them. I think it's the healthiest way of dealing, this problem. It's not the only thing in your identity. You represent much more. It can be anything, a rav, a doctor, just a nice human being, and sometimes you're annoying. It's okay. You're a person, and you're not just ravak. I think it's true in other cases. Here we're dealing with this issue, but wherever you go, don't just see people through this, so I would say narrow way of looking at people. So yeah, you're not just this, you're not just that. And I say it as a chozeret b'tshuva. For years, I saw myself as, ani chozeret b'tshuva. Is this the right way to define myself? Baruch Hashem, I got married to a guy from a very frum family, a Didia. My husband, my father-in-law is a Rav, 11 brothers and sisters. If I would see my personality only as a ba'alat tshuva, I became religious, it's not the only way to define myself. And so first of all, see the spectrum, see everything, and see inside them, every mitzvah they make. It's not just, they're not full yet, they're not perfect yet, and then let's, in a time, it's everything is b'diavad. No, they're lechatchila. They're doing amazing things in this world. B'ezrat Hashem, they'll get married. I think that's the right attitude. And since I work with so many friends and partners that are, that's my perspective. That's how I see them. We're blessed in our society, in our community, that we have so talented ravakim and ravakot. That's amazing. I also think we should ask them for brachot, for blessings. I always say, that we should ask for brachot from the singles in our generation. It's even in the Gemara, it says that a ravak that lives in the city and doesn't sin. And think about them. They're incredible. They have minyanim. They pray. They do so much. They learn. They daven. They sometimes they're involved in kiruv, in outreach. It's amazing to see in the religious, the ultra-Orthodox, the modern Orthodox stream in Israel and abroad. I was privileged to work Stern College, YU, in Washington Heights. I was there for a year, almost a year. It was amazing to see the young generation. So that Baruch Hashem, they're a blessing to the world. And yeah, they're also, they're singles. Bezrat Hashem. So that's maybe the second message. And the third one, the third rule is there are no rules. I mean, they try, to get married. They try to move forward, to have this progress. It's for sure, it's not a personal thing. Tzarat rabim chatzi nechama. It's the trend of this generation. I mean, in the shtetl, they used to get married at the age of 19 and that's it, maybe 17. I don't know. Hashem tells us something here. My mother-in-law, I'm not an expert, but she is an expert. She's a parents consultant. She's really an expert. And she tells me that it's because people today, they cannot just compromise. They cannot just, like our great-grandmothers and grandmothers, they just got married in the shtetl, in the village, in somewhere in Morocco or in Poland. It was like, okay, no. Today you want things to be deeper and to have meaning. I think it shows us that this generations, they want more. It's not just out of I would say something that is how do you say, like just the basic need of, okay, I need to find a husband. No. You need to find a partner. You need to find a friend. You want it to be meaningful. That's why it takes time. I think in so many things, our generation teaches us when it comes to learning Torah, when it comes to everything, just perform, being frum. It's not just an existential, it's not just, I don't just do things, copy paste because that's the way it's done. No, we learn Chassidus and we go into deeper things because we want the Torah to be, real, to touch us. And it's higher, I think, and it's deeper. And it's when it comes to choosing a partner, when it comes to in every part of our identity, we want things to be more. So it means that that's not me, that's my mother-in-law. That's why she says it's not just marriage, it's also divorce. The percentage, you see the statistics. That's why we have to work harder on the inner, I would say, not just the external things, it's the inner thing. So, okay, I said I'm not an expert, so I don't want to really, elaborate. And I just want to say something just to end this session, and I'm sure you heard so many things today. I want to mention the little Lubavitcher Rebbe. This was his last sikha, his last talk, Parashat Vayakhel, 2 days before the stroke. Before that was the last words he said on the year 1992, Tafshinun Bet. That it was Parashat Vayakhel, and he said that the real thing is the last words was where Kahal Gadol Yashuvu Hena. And I know you represented the Anglos that are here, so connected to Israel, making Aliyah. Kahal Gadol Yashuvu Hena, that's redemption, that's you. But before he was speaking about, final redemption, he said that Vayakhel, it's first of all, Ben Adam Lekono. This is the first Vayakhel, me and Hashem, building my personality. I think not just the singles, also the parents of the singles, the shlichut, it's not just out there, it's building our inner, I would say, strength, resilience, especially now. So the first zugiyut is with Hashem. And I wish us, Bezrat Hashem, we should build it. The Rebbe said, Vayakhel, it starts with Modeh Ani. It's the first connection you have with someone in this world. It's this saying Modeh Ani. So it starts with Modeh Ani, with building our personality, and it ends with Kahal Gadol Yashuvu Hena. So may we see Be'ezrat Hashem, lots of smachot, and thank you very much for all the Shagririm. Pray for them, believe in them, love them, build them and build yourself. And Besorot Tovot, Toda Rabba, thank you from Yerushalayim.
Thank you so much, Sivan. Be'emet, we're so appreciative that you joined for these amazing words of wisdom, as usual. So, this beautiful crowd, this beautiful gang.
Rega, 1 minute.
Yes.
If you want to get, I know people here, Shira is part of my daily WhatsApp. If you want to get the daily WhatsApp, here is the link. I'll just copy it. Yeah. Oh, Shira, amazing. Yeah. Send it to everyone. We have it in Hebrew and English. I just I don't see the chat here.
Oh, right. I'm gonna bring it back.
Yeah. And Shira, you can definitely give it to them. It's a huge skula. You just join the daily WhatsApp, subscribe, and you just find your shidduch. So
I really recommend joining. Here, now you can message everyone, Sivan. I really recommend joining. I read them every day. It's such a good start for your day. I see here, Shira also sent it, but mamash recommend it. It's not, oh, I don't have the time of day. It's short, it's exact. I mamash encourage. And you heard,
Thank
Sivan
you.
has only smart things to say, Baruch Hashem.
No, not always. You can ask my kids. No, not always. Thank you. Toda rabba.
Thank
Toda
you.
rabba.
So,
Thank you.
everyone here, the Zoom is coming to an end. And I'm really honored. But we said estimated end time 10 and we're at 10:20. So kol hakavod to all of you. If there's any questions, anyone who wants to stay and ask things, you're welcome to. But if anyone needs to leave, it's okay. We're officially, we've come to the finish line. And really, I wanted to say it in the beginning, but I'm gonna say it now. I think there were a lot of tips here for parents to do this and this, and you could do this better, and you can do that. Every single parent and every single friend that decided on a Thursday night, whether you're in the middle of a war or the middle of the day in the United States, but a Thursday, to come and hear more about what you can do better, you're an inspiration. You're already 99% there because you're doing the effort to learn and to grow and to just become with more skills and more hope for your children. And I really, really hope that Hashem is going to bless you and your kids and your families and your friends and everyone you love. To bless Hashem find their besheret sooner rather than later. But Be'emet, it is so appreciated by us. We were very excited to arrange this Zoom with such interesting and a variety of different people. But really, the stars are you guys who came and signed up and joined and stayed here for 2.5 hours almost. And you guys are amazing. So if anyone wants to ask a questions or to say something, see Daniela is still here, the best. So the floor is up for questions. Oh, and Daniela is saying, just I see there's so many people still here. She has a podcast on YouTube, Dating Smarter. If you want to date smarter, if you want to help others date smarter, that's the podcast to listen to. And you should know you're getting a lot of things. Some of them are being sent to me, but really thank you. Does anyone want to ask anything, share a thought? Or you're just here because you have FOMO that I'm going to say something else interesting? I'm just kidding.
Let's see.
Yes, Daniela.
Ayelet, I think you're amazing, and thank you so much for such a beautiful evening. And everybody's welcome to go to subscribe on YouTube. It will get to Spotify and to Apple Podcasts soon, but it's really nice. A lot of people are telling me that they're really gaining a lot from the Dating Smarter podcast. It's not just me; I interview somebody, so it's very cool. Yeah,
That's amazing. That's amazing. So everyone, thank you so much. You're all gonna get an email, the recording and the slides and how to join Shagririm Balev if you're interested in all the materials that were here tonight. And thank you all. And let's go do amazing things for Am Yisrael. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Ayelet.